Dr. Antoinette Corley-Newman. Thank you for inviting me to read my new book to you, Trick or Treat, the story of the Switch Witch and how she came to be. I really hope you enjoy it. Once upon a time, there was a little witch named Abigail. She and her parents lived in Transylvania with all the other witches and warlocks. Every year, on October 31st, Abigail and all the witches and warlock children flew into town to participate in the mortal harvest festivities. Although Abigail enjoyed the pumpkin carving, bobbing for apples, musical cheers, and freeze dances, her favorite part of the night was the costume contest. This is because she or one of her other immortal friends always won for most authentic costume. The bummer was the weddings, mortal sweet treats. There were never enough to share between Abigail and her other Transylvania guest. The day after Halloween, Abigail was looking through her mother's pot of brew when she saw some of the mortal children playing and trading sweet treats, and Abigail began to cry. "What's wrong?" asked Abigail's mother. "Well, why do we have to wait another year to enjoy sweet treats? And why is there never enough to share with you?" wailed Abigail as fat tears slid down her cheeks. Her mother wrapped her arms around Abigail and explained that October 31st was the only time it was safe for witches and warlocks to leave Transylvania, and truly the only time mortals felt safe to allow witches and warlocks to join in their harvest festivities. Every morning, noon, and night, during the winter, spring, summer, and fall, Abigail would look into her mother's pot of brew and watch the mortal children play games, attend sleepovers, and go on family trips. But what Abigail found most interesting was how much joy the mortal children had sharing sweet treats. The funniest thing Abigail saw was mortal children pretending to do magic tricks. Abigail would laugh and laugh, and once she laughed so hard, she fell into her mother's brew, and that's where Abigail got her most brilliant idea. October 31st was a week away, and Abigail knew she had a lot of work to do. "My sweet Abigail, what are you up to?" her mother asked. Well, Abigail gleamed and said, "You'll see, Mama," and she kept working. On harvest night, Abigail was so excited that her best friend Fred said, "Abigail, you are radiant. You must have a secret." Abigail looked at Fred and replied, "Tonight, I'm going to give you the best gift ever." Well, Fred got excited, for he thought Abigail had figured a way to win the costume contest, and that meant extra sweet treats for him. Every year, Abigail and her friends enjoyed the night's festivities. As Fred expected, Abigail won the prize for most authentic costume. But this time, Abigail gave Fred all of her sweet treats. Puzzled, Fred looked at Abigail and said, "Thank you, but you love mortal sweet treats." Abigail replied, "Yes, I do," and away she went. When Abigail and her friends arrived back to Transylvania, she invited them and their parents to come to her house to discuss tonight's festivities. When they arrived, everyone was surprised to see the house was set for a party with sweet treats galore. Abigail's parents looked at her and her father said, "Young lady, explain." Well, Abigail began to explain how the fall in the brew the week before was the best thing ever. You see, Abigail had discovered if she performed a trick, the mortal children would give her a treat. The mortal children were so amazed that they would run up to Abigail and say, "If I give you a treat, will you perform a trick?" Abigail's friends and family were so excited that they enjoyed the treats in her name all night long and would say to one another, "Trick or treat," and depending on the reply, would perform a trick or share a treat. Abigail was crowned Queen of the Night. The next day, Abigail was feeling sad once again, staring into her mother's brew. Abigail's mother asked, "Dearie, what's wrong?" Abigail exclaimed, "I wish we could have enough sweet treats to last all year." Well, Abigail's mother hugged her tight and said, There, my little sweetie. You have done a good thing to bring us the evening of sweet treats, and for this I am grateful." Every morning, noon and night, during the winter, spring, summer, and fall, Abigail would look into her mother's brew and watch the mortal children play, attend sleepovers, and go on family trips. Abigail saw mortal children trying to do the mortal tricks that she had shown them. Abigail laughed, and she laughed, and once again she laughed so hard she fell into her mother's brew. And behold, Abigail had another brilliant idea. Once again, Abigail knew she had a lot of work to do, for October 31st was only a week away. "My sweet Abigail, what are you up to?" her mother questioned. Abigail gleamed with excitement. "You will see, Mama." And she kept on working. On harvest night, Abigail was not the only one who was radiant, for all the other witches and warlock children were excited to perform tricks for mortal sweet treats. This year, the witches and warlock children were so busy performing tricks for treats, they forgot to enjoy the festivities, and they forgot to participate in the costume contest. And more importantly, they did not notice Abigail talking to the mortal adults. When the other witches and warlock children arrived back to Transylvania, they were too busy celebrating to notice that Abigail stayed behind. Well, when Fred passed by Abigail's mother's brew, he dropped his snack of treats right on the floor, for what he saw was amazing. When Abigail returned, her father approached her immediately and said, "Young lady, you have a lot of explaining to do." Well, Abigail started to tell her dad and all the other witches and warlocks how she had spoken to the mortal parents at the harvest festival. Abigail explained to the mortal parents that if their children left some sweet treats at the front door of their home, the treats would be exchanged for a special present. Well, to Abigail's surprise, sweet treats were left at every doorstep and addressed to the Switch Witch. All the witches and warlocks were amazed when they saw the bundles of mortal sweet treats Abigail brought home, and there was enough to last all year long. Well, today, the children of Transylvania no longer fly into town to join the mortal harvest festivities, for Abigail flies around the world and switches out sweet treats for presents. Abigail and her family and friends continue to enjoy all the collected sweet treats at the well-known annual Witches and Warlock Halloween Ball. So this, my friend, is how I came to be. To all the mortal children, happy Halloween and enjoy your trick or treat. Love, Abigail, the Switch Witch. The end. Thank you so much for letting me read my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy your Halloween, and please enjoy the treats that I sent for you as well. Bye.